Isn't it amazing what we can do with technology?
Honestly, I hate it.
Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to One of Each, the Dumb and Hungry podcast, where we talk about our food adventures and our favorite food groups. I'm Angelo, the Dumb and Hungry.
I'm Mancho.
And thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing all right. Mancho, looks like there's a little bit of more sunshine coming down our way. And
yeah, what is this garbage? Why am I here in the daylight now?
I know. It seems like I might have disturbed you from your slumber, so sorry about that.
I am vampire. I can't be in the sun.
Well, it seems like we've adjusted our kind of meeting time today because, it just kind of worked out better for me. But it seems that some of us actually get to celebrate a little extra holiday than some others. So,
thank Cesar Chavez.
Yes, the man who really championed workers' rights, and what better way to celebrate it than by not working?
Yeah, it's great.
So here we are.
Fine with that.
Thank you. By the way, is he still alive? I don't really know.
I don't know.
It's amazing how much we actually just don't know certain things. We just go with it. And we just...
Oh, wow. Died in 1993, age 66.
Wow.
So kind of young, actually.
We were but wee lads. So.
Yeah, honestly.
But civil labor rights, civil rights is very important. And notably for, the farm workers, those in agriculture and those who that eventually, come down to us with produce and things of consumption. So even more so, thank you, Mr. Chavez, for helping move that along. Maicha, how are you doing today? Literally today.
I am fine, honestly. It's Cesar Chavez. Friday was my RDO, so 4-day weekend for me.
Oh,
great.
Long weekend. Excellent.
Yeah.
Always good to hear.
Yep. Also, I got donuts today because somebody came over the weekend and they brought, Moon something donuts?
Oh, the Long Beach
in
joint?
your area. Yeah.
Oh, Moon Bridge. Wow.
Moon Bridge, yeah.
We were just talking. Yeah. I mean, we just, actually we did.
Yeah, it's very convenient.
Actually, by the time this drops, yes, we will have talked about that already.
Yes.
How very cool.
So very convenient. Also, quick follow-up. Apparently, so Ruan Pa, right? And Kamnamwan.
Yes.
I still haven't been, but as it turns out, those two are owned by someone from Marshall that was in my year.
What do you mean?
Or I guess his parents.
The restaurant,
the restaurant and the gelato thing they're trying to do. If you remember Champ, he was in my year.
Yes. I remember the nickname. It's kind of coming back. Yeah. I remember that guy.
Yeah. That's his family's restaurant. I didn't realize.
No kidding. So is he involved in that in any way, or what's his deal?
Pretty sure he's the one who's trying to do who tried to start the gelato thing.
Oh,
because I think I saw a reel and he was the one narrating it.
That's awesome.
About that before it opened.
Well, shoot, Champ, you out there? I'd love to catch up with you and chat with you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he'll hear this for sure.
Of all the people, he's really looking after.
He's actually one of our few and only fans.
That's correct. So, that's very cool. I had no idea. So even more of a reason to motivate to support, these local. So, all right. Well, Maicha, again, you haven't been out there, so I think we'll schedule something pretty soon.
Yeah, I was actually supposed to go on Thursday, but it fell apart, unfortunately.
Yeah, because you weren't with me, so we got to go now.
Is that what it was? Got it.
But how did you find out about that whole thing?
I mean, I knew his family owned or ran a Thai restaurant for years now.
Yeah.
I just never asked which one it was, honestly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then we were supposed to meet up on Thursday with him at Camden One, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because another friend was in town from Seattle. Mm-hmm. So we were all going to meet up there, but it ended up not.
I see. I feel like this is like breaking news, as far as this program goes. This is like late breaking.
The best we'll get.
Yeah, I think so. This is This is the juicy stuff that I like to hear, you know? That's great. I don't mean to interrupt you from your morning snack, but
No, this is good. This is important.
but you heard it here, folks. So we'll follow up again and see if we do get that meal at Ruin Pear and Canamon, and get the champ in there too. I don't know. But tell me, Macho, about what they brought you for donuts today.
Honestly, I don't know. She brought a dozen variety donuts. I've just been eating it over time. I know one of them was the Vietnamese coffee, which I actually really liked.
Good.
But the real problem is they're all yeast donuts, and I am a cake donut guy.
Yeah, we've definitely established that.
That's okay.
There is, I mean, I remember at least one, you know, we did showcase one of them. There was a raspberry donut with,
the lemon.
I don't remember now.
I'm not sure.
You know,
she also brought one of those.
Oh, but you didn't have it.
So this was a Lolita tea party or whatever. They fucking took slices of donuts, tiny slices of donuts, and I hate it. Not even halves. It's like
just like
slivers.
Little, maybe like eighths or 16ths or
less
something.
Even. Yeah. What's the point?
What's the point of a donut? Oh man. At that point, it should be like I don't know, a little tartlet or something prepared.
Yeah, or like a donut hole kind of.
Yeah, maybe. Moonbridge, if you're listening to this, get on that, okay?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure they're even more likely listening.
Okay. Well, good. I mean, that's a pretty good way to start the day. But how many more you got to go through? You got
These are my last two.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I've been going through it. Very sad.
Well, thankfully, you know, donuts are in no short supply, you know, around there. But glad you got to try something from way. I mean, I was kind of surprised, to be honest, when you said that. So good to know.
Yeah, I'm also very surprised. Well, she came from SD.
Okay.
So I guess on her way up, she stopped by. I don't know.
I mean, it's like it's a newish place. You know, it looks a little hip and trendy. Okay. So I think it kind of makes sense. It might get a little bit of attention lately. So that's cool. Very cool. While you enjoy your sweet treats, I wanted to share about a pretty significant event that happened recently, at least as we're talking. By the time this comes out, I don't know, maybe it's old news, but we're talking about really a seminal event, really the wedding of the century. We want to congratulate our good friends Jamie and Dave. They just had a beautiful ceremony recently at one of the Capoeira studios. It's interesting. We met Jamie because of food, right? Visiting and eating and board games subsequently, but really, knowing about Jamie's circle and hanging out with some of those people, it's all through Capoeira, And to those who don't know, including myself, that's the Brazilian martial arts kind of jujitsu kind of style of. But it's it's even, you have people from all walks of life. I think you can apply this to other kind of circles, but I mean, in this case, people from all sorts of places and backgrounds, but they all have this common thread of capoeira, and doing it for decades, quite literally. It's quite fascinating, really. So it was nice to, of course, to see everyone come together at this studio, this space that was really transformed, for them, and it was such a great event. Family, friends, and so on, and of course, excellent food as well.
Of course.
As far as the food goes, it had some pretty heavy hitters, some great choices from Jamie, bringing together one Evil Cooks, who make some great tacos. They offered their al pastor, their asada, in that kind of signature dark black marinade, which was and always very flavorful. So that was really good. But to be honest, as much as love as it got, it really was kind of in the shadow of this other vendor from the Bangkok Lady. And this was a vendor that Jamie had come across a while back, and we had tried together, and I had subsequently tried after as well. They're based out of the OC in Westminster, and they make bang cot, which is this Vietnamese kind of little mini savory pancakes. So, my child, I think we've mentioned them from at least once. But if you can, if you know, to try to relate the way they make them, you have this kind of you have a pan, but each pan kind of has this like kind of divot in there. If you are familiar with the Ebelskiver dessert, I don't know. This is going off on a kind of a okay. So
No.
So in Solvang, if you ever go out there, there is a particular dessert called an Ebelskiver. And the Ebelskiver pan that they make, there's like these round little, they're like donut holes. Okay. That's kind of the way to, but the way they make them in these Ebelskiver pans, it's like one pan, but like with these many multiple, dips.
Like a takoyaki pan?
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Now we're all bringing the cultures together. We've got,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yes,
It's all connected.
in a better way to relate. But yes, in that way. So you have the batter in there, right? The little pancake like crepe batter, and then you fill it in with all these different little savory fillings like shrimp or pork, and and then other little veggies, typical for in the Vietnamese. Okay, so from there, then you serve it on with lettuce and other mints and herbs and other things like that. Anyway, going to that, that was probably the most popular food vendor there. I mean, after the event, we haven't even talked about the event here, but the after the event, the little cocktail hour, that line was just packed like through and through, throughout the whole time. There's always a line.
Okay.
People were waiting, but rightfully so. I mean, it was such a hit, and it was just as good. It's just you remember having them at the restaurant. So, I think Jamie was very happy, that they secured them early on, and that they really delivered. So, and then as far as other vendors or food things, there was a wing vendor. I don't know specifically from where, if there was any particular, but that of course caters to Dave's palate, and they were mighty fine wings. So, nothing to complain about those. But it was nice to kind of see. It's kind of fun to see like a whole like plate, like pile of the wings, just ready for Dave when that time comes. So, and maybe not surprisingly, maybe because of that, they did sell out first. So, and then later on, another vendor, S'moreology, came along, and they set up a s'more station. So, you had your graham crackers, your marshmallows, all your different, things to include on there. It was really like a mini smorgasbord,
As expected from anything James is involved with.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less. So, but I mean, and then I think for dessert, we had the chocolate cake coming from Tartine, the Tartine Bakery in Pasadena, which makes sense. That's it's where Jamie currently resides there. But they had a nice single tier 3-layer chocolate cake, pretty thick chocolate buttercream on there. So it's pretty decadent, but it was enjoyable, at least for me, and I'm sure those who had it would enjoy it too. So it was overall a really great event. The ceremony itself was was beautiful. It was kind of moving, and it wasn't too long a ceremony. Maybe not more than maybe half an hour or something. But again,
Millennial wedding.
Yeah. But the things that took place over there, the exchanging of rings, the vows, and things like that, and comments from it was interesting too. They had kind of had coefficients
Oh,
Yeah, so Jamie
that's
had
what
hers.
goes before a variable, right?
What's that? Oh yeah,
That's what goes before a
absolutely.
variable.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I still know my math.
To help amplify really
Yes.
the whole event. But Jamie had hers from her circle, and then Dave had his buddy from his circle. So they said their remarks, and yeah, overall it was just a good time. So, and then people just busting it out on the dance floor and all
Hmm.
that. So
Of course.
yeah, so
Especially her circle of friends.
sure. I mean, I think Dave's friends got down with it too.
Oh,
So
true.
yeah,
But I mean, just like couple aside,
yeah, they can move.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm breaking my back here, but they
Yeah.
got the moves. They got the moves.
They
So
have no spine and they're like jelly.
so anyway, that to say again, it really was the wedding of the century. So congrats to Jamie and Dave for that. So with that aside, we're speaking of food and we'll continue to do that. So we want to thank our few and only fans, for once again joining us as we talk about our food adventures, with these local spots, pop-ups, whatever, good food, good people, really what it comes down to. Today we wanted to, well, really, I wanted to kind of take a step back and actually talk about a trip that I had taken back, I don't know, sometime last year. But
September, isn't it?
you're right. It was in September. I'm not sure how you remember that. But there you go. This was a trip out to New York. As you know, New York, Maicha, we've talked about your adventures in New York
Yeah.
and the fun you had there. So I think I got a little bit of FOMO. So so I did a little FOMO with a little bit of YOLO, a little bit of Froyo, a little bit of I don't know. So all those in between.
So please.
I will say, I'll jump a little ahead. As I took my first subway ride down there, as I arrived, I was encountered by a pretty large rat, and
Yes, as it should be.
and I felt that my trip was then complete. So
Can't get any better at that
no,
point.
I thought that was pretty good. That was the highlight, really. And from there, we will wrap it up. No, New York was, I don't know, it'd been a while since I'd last been, probably in my late teens or something. I think it's been that long. And so to kind of see a lot of the changes and I don't know, just to actually appreciate a lot of these places now as a so-called adult, I guess, but to kind of appreciate it, on your time and not your pace, And of course, when you want to take a trip, maybe to a place that you haven't been, or maybe to a new place, you want to try to do as much as you can with the time that you have, So, I mean, I was only there for a weekend, 2-3 days. So I just wanted to make sure I hit some of the highlights. I know there's so much more that, could have explored and looked into, but I think this was a pretty good start. And not surprisingly, it revolves around food. And that's what we're going to kind of focus on, of course, and kind of hit those places that I visited. And maybe, if you're interested, if you're down there, hopefully you'll maybe pay a visit to one of these places or find an itinerary of your own or adventure of your own. And then come back and say, Angelo, your suggestions were trash. This is what you should do. So whatever you decide, I get out there. But let's just jump right in here finally, and we'll start with our day, our morning in Manhattan. And what better way to start the day than with some bagels? So I think that was definitely on top of mind. And of course, like kind of planning out the timing, logistics of everything, of what's open and whatever. So bagels was definitely on there. And so as I got off, got off the train coming from Jersey to New York, I walked down to this spot called Best Bagel and Coffee down on 7th and 35th. And we have just a few things to show you here, but that's the storefront there. And, really, as much as I don't know, I just realized, bagels is just not something that really comes to mind for me here in LA. Maybe that's just my
Mhm.
taste. I know they're out there and I know they exist, and there are some phenomenal places that I've had the pleasure to try. But yeah, it's just, here in New York, it's just everywhere, right? It's just one of those
Mhm.
places that is just everywhere. And, as much as we really like to an extent, like celebrate things here in LA and really up, showcase, certain things and highlights of these types of foods. Here, it's just everywhere. And I think the places that you would happen to visit, they're great. I mean,
Mhm.
it'll be a good bite, just something to fill you up and get you through the day. But as far as appreciating the bagel, I think there's this place and another place we'll talk about later. We just want to showcase that or try it out by having an everything bagel and some cream cheese. I mean, a plain
Okay.
cream cheese. So
Yeah.
nothing too fancy, nothing too complicated. But I thought this was a good way to just again appreciate what the quintessential can't even say that. I'm so hungry now. Um, just really, yeah, the quintessential bagel. So I mean, again, my child, you and I, we appreciate a good schmear. We appreciate a good dollop of
Cream cheese, if
cream
anything. Yeah.
cheese, a good brick now and
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. Hell yeah. A whole brick all at once,
Yep.
please. I will. I'll still do that. I don't even care.
Yeah, same here. So you just pair that with a cup of coffee and then you're good to go. So I don't know. I mean, the bagel, they say the water's different or something like that.
Yeah. They also don't toast bagels out there.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah. And if you do,
it's
they
a
will,
weird thing here. Yeah.
exactly. But with that said, I don't think toasting is all that necessary. At least when when you're talking about a fresh bagel,
Mm.
it's not terribly chewy. It's got a nice soft, kind of bite there, and then there's just enough cream cheese. I mean, I know we want to layer it on there. If we could get the whole brick, let's do that.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, just put the brick in between two halves of bagel and you're done.
wrapper still on.
Yeah. Well, okay. Wait. That's an inconvenience. We don't like that.
Some extra minerals in there, I think. Uh,
Only you would eat that.
Probably. So, after some bagels and some subway rides and boats and whatnot, it was time already for the next meal. And that brings us to Bleecker Street. So I wanted to
Ah.
get some slices in and just see, of course, the quintessential slice. And of course, just like the bagels, slices are aplenty. You can find them in almost every street corner. Every spot you go to will be, will offer some sort of pizza, and I was tempted to first start off with like a dollar or $1.50 slice, but I thought I'd just start with something punching a little higher above. And so that brings us
Mhm.
to Bleecker Street here. And it's a small shop. It's out in Greenwich Village. And, you know, as far as the slices, because this was my first stop for pizza, I thought I'd try a couple of slices. And so that brought me to, these two. Just a simple cheese slice. I think just like how I had the bagel, just kind of simple. This is the equivalent of that, of having a cheese slice, but also accompanied by another slice, which they are well known for. No, I think it's called the Nonna Maria. And so that's, a slice with mozzarella and Parmesan and some basil. That's what you see on there. And, I think, for those who I read that would recommend this, or I think it really delivers. It's a really fresh slice. The tomatoes, is nice, is along with the basil and the mozzarella, just all together. And probably what's most important, to consider is the fold. And so, the fold is what we see here, and this is a beautiful fold. There are many folds, many pizzas, many undercarriages, many charred undersides, but overall it comes to that fold, and this holds up really nicely. So that's over at Bleecker Street. I don't remember, my chow, what
Why is it? Why is it? horizontal? Or why isn't it horizontal when you took this
What?
picture?
Well, I mean
To demonstrate the sturdiness of the fold.
right. It certainly is. Maybe if you turn your head,
Sure,
then
sure.
then I think you can really appreciate just how sturdy it is. Okay.
All right.
So it takes a little bit of audience participation.
Is that what it is? All right.
Yes, even to those who are listening, just turn your head.
And you'll probably get it.
Yeah, about what 90 degrees, and then I think you're good. Yeah. So that was Bleecker Street. But while I was in that area, I would be remiss.
Sanctum Sanctorum is on Bleecker Street. The Avengers, Doctor Strange house. It's fine.
Okay, well, there's another heroic reference that we will make. Hey, I'm gonna level with you here, okay? I'm gonna try to relate. Mr. Tobey Maguire. Wait, is that his name?
Hey! Yes, Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yes, I believe Spider-Man 2 is alluded here with our next spot, and that would be just down the street at Joe's Pizza.
Is that where Mary Jane almost died?
I'm not sure, but I know that's where Peter Parker got fired. So
that
because he couldn't deliver the pizzas on time.
Yes, it was always late.
Right. So I believe this. I if I recall, I saw like posters all over and things like that referencing this is where the Spider-Man thing was done, and so I did watch a little clip of that just to kind of recall that. But anyway, Joe's Pizza, that is certainly the pizza's pizza really of New York. Might I recall that you've had a slice as well from Joe's? Yes, and so
also
here it is
again?
Yeah, just a cheese slice again, just to compare a simple New York style slice. It was really more for the form of the pizza. What's your preferred slice? I don't really know. Do you like what do you get on there?
I mean, if you're trying to go simple, just at least pepperoni, man. What is this vegetarian nonsense?
I guess at this point it's vegan, but
it's cheesy, man. Wait.
Yeah. But this is just it's a small shop, it's only a few seats, it's still pretty busy, but I think this is the OG location as well. So it was nice to kind of visit, where it all started, I suppose. And again, we're looking at that undercarriage, that fold. Again, turn your head about a few degrees, and I thought that was quite good. I think comparing it to Bleecker, I think Bleecker's got a little bit more substance there, a little more to offer, but I think of course at a certain price point. But for Joe's, you get a certain just familiar really kind of bite and what to expect from just a good New York slice. So again, Joe's down there along with Bleecker Street. Now we have to round out this entire meal really with something sweet, and what better way, my child, than
cream cheese?
Absolutely. Once again, we are revisiting cream cheese, but in another medium, another way, and that is through cheesecakes. So
glorious! Oh, I love a New York cheesecake. Oh my god!
Remind me, did you have a chance to try a New York cheesecake out there?
I just realized we didn't, and I'm upset.
You've really robbed yourself.
Honestly,
that's too bad. I know it just seemed I think people's plans and stuff they can change, and hopefully there's
stupid wedding. That's why I took up all day.
Exactly. You should have just. Well, next time you're out there, or next time you got to go to a wedding, ditch that and then go here instead. Come here to Eileen's. This is Eileen's special cheesecake. It's down in Lower Manhattan. And what's nice, my chow, is that of course think of a cheesecake, a typical slice, like a cake slice, a triangular, serving or whatever. What's nice about this is that they make like little mini individually sized, cute,
Oh, okay.
personal sized little cheesecakes. So what we see here is just we've got a plain one and then one with a strawberry. So they got so many different flavors, different size, and they have larger sizes than my child. I mean, if you want a whole 10-inch one, please
Okay,
feel
that's very
free.
important.
That's no problem. But it
Can
was
I get
just
a 10
nice.
inch one topped with these?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, glorious.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I mean, we'll take a look at that menu over there, look them up. But they got different types of toppings and things that you can enjoy with your cheesecakes. I don't remember, like, I don't know at this point what the go-to is for a New Year cheesecake. Like, where do you go? As far as the big names. But this place came up, and I think this is definitely still pretty well known, even outside of the city, but. It's definitely more of a neighborhood spot. Again, relatively small space, but I mean, still a lot of good people coming through. So don't sleep on it. So, especially us.
Yeah.
Now that day, I think we had to, of course, end it with another meal. This meal was pretty good, pretty special, I'd say. I got to meet up with a buddy who was staying there, who had moved there a little bit, and now has moved back since. And that's Alec from AGL Barbecue, and
Oh.
yeah, so he was there during the time I was there. He was still over there. He's now again moved back, but we finally had a chance to kind of hit him up, and we had a chance to share a good meal together. We met up, of course, at a barbecue spot because, of course, no trip would be complete without barbecue. And this was a place that had been on my mind for a while. And I finally had the chance to try it and share. As we've talked about, sharing, barbecue is a little more advantageous than trying to tackle it as a solo diner. But we'll take a look here. We'll just kind of get some of the highlights here of the menu. But this is Hometown Barbecue, and they have a couple locations, but we're at the Red Hook location, which is down in Brooklyn, and this is, again, a place that I had heard about, early on in my barbecue adventures, and now finally got the chance to try. So what we see here, we have, some of the essentials. We have brisket. We also have some turkey. And then on that same tray is also actually a pastrami sando. So we'll compare that to some of the other pastrami we'll look at later. But we have a couple different ribs. We have some Korean glaze sticky ribs. That seems to be popular. I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I think that's like kind of a popular flavoring. I think that a lot of barbecue guys like to offer, whether on the ribs or the pork belly or
yeah.
Exactly. So nice to see that on there.
Jones.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out once again. But we have another set of ribs here. It's like a jerk, more like with a jerk sauce, that Jamaican. So a little bit more heat with that. And then just far out there is like a thick cut of bacon, pastrami bacon, actually. So
pastrami. Okay.
Yeah. So that was and then we have some sides there, again, more vegan. But let's see here. I think we have a couple to show. That was just a close up there, I think, of the jerk chicken. I think overall, I was trying to remember the meal because it's been quite a while. As much as we love to support, the fellow pitmasters and barbecue joints, overall it was good. I think we were hoping for a little bit more punch, a little bit more flavor, I think, from some of these dishes. I think the jerk did have some heat there. But let's see, what else did I have? Oh, the pastrami. The pastrami sandwich was pretty good. I think it was pretty fatty. Maybe touching on, just that borderline of like overly so, but again, the next spot we're going to talk about, obviously, it will be maybe a direct comparison, but a smoked meat of pastrami, when it's, the flavor of pastrami can be overdone too often, or could be under. I mean, the brine itself, can be a tricky thing to master. But this was a good pastrami sandwich. So, if that's on the menu, then make sure you you try it out. So that was dinner, and so I really appreciate meeting up with Alec, and I'm glad he's back and he's doing his thing with his pop-ups and events and things. So if any of you have a chance to visit him down there in the South Bay and other areas he's popping up, then that'll be all good. So speaking of pastrami, the next spot is one of those, again, quintessential spots for pastrami, and that spot is Katz. So Katz is it's an institution, it's a historic, just really well-known spot. Macha, remind me, did you visit Katz out there?
We did not.
Okay. Well,
Where is that?
What's that?
Where is that?
Katz is on the Lower East Side. That's all I can tell you right now.
Oh, okay. No.
So I mean, you see the intersection here, but it's just right there at the corner. But you see the line already kind of forming. I think I arrived there pretty just right around the time when it was open already. You can already see the line, and of course we have our pastrami greats here in LA, from Langer's to Brent's and several others. But Katz is really what people talk about New York's pastrami sandwich. So I just wanted to take a look inside, and again, old school spot, right? Neon signs, kind of old school signage and whatnot. I just want to let you know that you enter through. You get, I think what happens is that you get a ticket, and you take that ticket. Don't lose the ticket. You provide it to the guy who's at the counter, whoever's slicing. And there are multiple stations. You can see them numbered here. So you kind of enter in one line, but then just make sure, if there's space, if there is room at another line, you can meander on through that other line. You don't have to stay in the main line you're entering through. So that way you kind of help ease up some traffic and get your food sooner. And then with that ticket, they'll write down whatever you've ordered, and then you'll bring that eventually to the cashier for payment. So again, just don't lose that ticket. But again, you can see it's pretty busy. I think we have a shot here. There you go, of the slicing of the pastrami. These guys are just like, I don't know, they're masters. They it's really nice. That fork, right? They just, whenever they're bringing out a new pastrami, they just like, they stab the thing and then they just hold it one-handed, just like bring it. It's like nothing, it's a beautiful sight, really. But really that really makes for a good sandwich. So this is purely just the pastrami. You got some mustard on there, nothing too fancy, on some rye. And
is that like a double protein? Is that a regular
it's
serving?
just a single, it's a single serving. But I'm sure, I can't remember exactly offhand what the price point is, but it's a higher price point, maybe at least let's just throw it out there, maybe like 20 plus 2025, but it's plenty to go around. I mean, you could easily share it, but then
why would you?
Exactly. And you could either share it or you could be us. No.
Yeah. I guess so.
But that is a meat sandwich. I tell you that right now. So a good meal overall. And then down the street, I have to say, unfortunately, I did not have the chance to visit Russ and Daughters, another kind of institution for excellent bagels. But they're just down the street. Yeah.
Yeah, we passed by that. We almost went into it.
Yeah.
It was a little crowded, but that means that we might have passed. We should have passed by.
Yeah.
Katz's Deli, and maybe we just didn't even notice.
Yeah, you probably did, but
damn.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. But I have one more thing to bring up there, and more of a quiz. if anything. I know we didn't study or nothing, but
Jesus, I'm scared.
I'm gonna bring up the map here of Cats on here, and here's Cats, right? And here's the street that it resides on.
Okay.
What is the name of that street?
Houston.
Very good. Excellent. Yes. To so just so you don't sound like a complete tourist and novice. Yes, that's Houston Street, named after I guess William Houston, who I really have no idea who that is.
Probably the mayor of Houston, original or the founder of Houston,
It could have been.
or at least the family.
Yeah, I guess I guess it's named after, not to be confused, of course, commonly pronounced with Houston, Texas, who's named after some other fellow named Houston. But anyway, yeah, nicely done.
Well, that was a trick question, obviously.
It's like, where's he going with this? Yeah, so now let's see. From there, we travel a little uptown, and I don't remember the activities in between, but I ended up at another eatery, this time for hot dogs. Now, hot dogs, of course, are another, staple of New York cuisine.
True.
But in this case, yeah, I realized I didn't really visit any hot dog carts.
What?
Yeah,
Why not?
like from these, saline salty water
Yeah.
or whatever that they pull from. But I visited another spot instead, and this spot is called Gray's Papaya.
It's a fancy
And
schmancy hot dog spot.
I guess so. It's this brick and mortar, just again, kind of this old school, kind of long standing
Okay.
spot. So we see here in Uptown. But Gray's Papaya, the papaya refers to the drink, the papaya drink, and they have other flavors as well for their beverages. But I think it's namely this kind of sweet papaya flavor that you pair with these simple but supposedly higher quality hot dogs. I don't know about quality necessarily compared to what you get at the hot dog cart. Size wise, it's actually kind of small for my taste. I don't know, but they have if you look in the menu, they'll have this thing called the recession special, which is 2 hot dogs and a drink for some reasonable price. But
Okay.
here we have just 2 hot dogs, just topped with some onion, sauerkraut, and dolloped with mayo. I don't quite remember if I'd asked for extra mayo, but it's on there. And nothing like a good mayo with your dog. So that's Gray's Papaya. There's also I think the history is that this was founded by a former owner of another spot called Papaya King, which also did hot dogs and these papaya drinks. So I think whoever, one of those former guys just did their own thing eventually, So but that's Gray's Papaya. I think they had multiple locations at one point, and then because of, I don't know, economy and whatnot, I guess maybe they're just down to this one. All right. So while we're in Uptown, not too far away, need to get some sweets in there. So I decided to pay a visit to Levan Bakery. So Levan is a place that we've kind of mentioned here, and a place that I don't remember how exactly I really came across, this spot. I'm pretty sure it's on social media or something. But
No,
I'm
you're
not
right.
sure
Fair
how
enough.
the algorithm brought it to me. But ever since, I'd been very interested to try them out. I think at one point I had ordered, mail order, of some of
really?
their cookies and stuff. And I enjoyed it then. You reheat it in the oven or something. But now to have it in LA and then to try the OG in here in New York was a real treat. And it's a small spot. I mean, it's nothing like it's nothing big. It's just like this, almost like a bungalow, if you will. You just kind of take a walk down a small set of stairs, and then the space itself is really, really tight. But there was a good
New
amount of
York.
people getting their cookies. And again, these cookies are pretty signature, I think, and it's they're big. They're
Yeah,
big.
that is
They're
very true.
thick. They got this kind of crispy outside, but a really kind of soft, chewy inside. I almost feel like it's like a cross with like a cookie versus like meat scone kind of situation.
Um,
I don't know. I think that's just me. I might not necessarily scone, because scones can be kind of I don't know what's the word.
Dry.
Yeah. Thank you. But this is not that.
Yeah,
The
definitely not.
center is definitely still very moist. And the chocolate chips blend well there too. There's should be some, is it walnuts that they use in there? I
Okay.
think that's the typical cookie, but you can get, there are other variants, double chocolate, things like that.
Hmm.
But this is the Leven cookie to try. And again, now that we're in LA, they got one here. I think I was trying both, and I think they were pretty similar. So
Okay. Oh,
I
good.
think there is just as much to enjoy at West Coast versus East Coast. So I'm very happy about that. And then to kind of finish off the day there, I had just come back I was just walking from Times Square and watched a musical out there. And of course, he had to go. Yeah,
What did you watch again? I don't remember.
it was Chicago.
Oh,
Chicago.
right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes. All that jazz, baby.
All
So
right, Fosse, calm down.
I'm walking from I forget whatever theater I was at. And it started to rain. I did not expect
That's
the
right.
rain. I didn't expect the rain. I didn't know it was going to rain. I mean, I saw some forecast earlier in the week, but then as the week went on, like it didn't really show anything. But sure enough, the rain decided to come through and share a little bit of love there. So it did start to rain, and I was totally unprepared. I had no form of cover, no jacket, no sweater, no nothing. Got my hat. That's about it. But with that said, that's not going to stop me from getting some food, and neither did it stop all these people here. What we're looking at is a line down to a particular food cart called Adele's Famous Halal Food, and right there in Times Square, you can see Radio City just right across. The Rockefeller Center, down there. Just a real New York scenic, kind of view there. And this one mighty food cart, serving hundreds of people, into the
Oh,
night. I mean, it's just,
oh, is it like in that plaza where there's like a statue of some kind?
yeah, I'm going to
Because I
say
remember seeing a
yes.
long ass line around
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
guess it would be that.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, this is the
Yeah,
line
on
we're
that left
talking
side.
about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's radio. I see. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know
So
exactly. What
it was raining. Okay. And so, it didn't really stop me. It wasn't at that point. It still wasn't raining like really heavy. Like, yeah, but it was still coming down, and, it was kind of interesting. There were some people in front of me, two young ladies, and, who were also woefully unprepared. And then there were two guys in front of them, bros, if you will. And one of them stepped away, and they came back with like a sign, like a little, like a sign. I don't know, like a sign.
Sandwich board sign or like a cardboard sign? What are we talking here?
What's a sandwich board sign? Is that the triangle
The
thing?
ones that the people wear, right?
You could think of it like that. Yeah, just like one half of that, I suppose.
Oh, okay, I see.
They find one of those, and the guy brings it back, and then what he does, he shares it with his friend. They like put it over their head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it creates like this, creates cover, right? But also it creates this gap in between that's also covered. So the two young girls, they they walk under, right? And they're also like protected from the rain. And then they make friends, and it's all
and they risen them up.
Right, exactly.
It's all part of the plan.
Absolutely. I don't got no riz like that, but what I do got is an empty stomach at this point and a very wet hat. Um,
I mean, you're not wrong. That is a literal.
but I do want to take the time to shout out to someone. What I hope is a buddy now. His name is Vince. I want to thank Vince because he hooked me up with a little bit of cover. He was standing behind me, and I think it took me a while to kind of realize he is sharing his umbrella with me. And at some point, I did turn around, and I realized, this guy. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but yeah, he's helping me out here. So, we got to talking, and he's I think from California, but I think NorCal, and his girlfriend is actually studying in New York, and he's visiting there. And yeah, I mean, it was just one of those nights where he's grabbing something to eat for them, and lucky him to stand behind me. So,
I mean, he's trying to raise you up, maybe.
Yeah. Damn right. So, we got to talking, but the wait for this food was, I don't know. I think I remember waiting at least an hour, could be an hour and a half. I mean, it was a pretty gnarly line, and it was still growing behind us. There's still a good crowd. I know. So it won't stop New Yorkers from, I mean, here in California, it's like, we've alluded to, yeah, I'm such a coward. I am so, I don't know. It's so crazy.
It was raining on Saturday. I was like, forget it. I'm not doing anything.
I know. Yeah. Speaking of going back to that, yeah, it was raining on Saturday, but it did clear up later that day, thankfully, for Jamie and Dave's wedding. So
that's very true. Yeah.
It was very fortuitous for that. But nothing cleared up here in New York. It's just like, here you go. It just deal with it. So he was again, want to thank Vince for that, and hope you're doing all right. So as far as the meal itself, really couldn't enjoy it on the spot, but we just got a plate of this combo plate of chicken and lamb with some extra white sauce, and on a bed of it's definitely some spiced rice, I believe. So but the meats are where it's at. Got some lamb and chicken on there, and some the garnish as well.
Yes, I mean.
But I mean, after getting the plate, I had to ride back home to where I was staying. So I took the subway down and then enjoyed this back where I was staying. And it was still great. I mean, it's been a while since I've had something like a Halal Guys or something like that. I'd be interested to discover more places like this, some halal joints. There are restaurants that offer halal dishes or just halal preparation. But we'll see. But Adele's, as far as on its own, it was stellar. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think, and it was super cheap. It's like probably like under $10 or something. As much as we have the appreciation of street food and vendors and things like that here in LA, I don't know. It's stuff like this. I don't think you really find too much of, or there just needs to be more of out here.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
So
we got a lot of taco carts. That's what we have instead.
Yeah. I mean, that's our cheap go-to eats, you know, and they're they can fill you up too, but
it would be nice to have a variety of those kinds of.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we need a little bit more embrace from, to them. Now we are coming towards the end of this substantial trip, and the rain was still coming. Thankfully, not as strong, but it was still coming down. So I started off the day at my local bodega. So, my Jeff, I don't remember if we talked about this at length, but bodega is basically your local convenience store, mini mart, if you will.
That sells groceries.
Exactly, from groceries to convenience store stuff. But and they're scattered throughout, all the boroughs, wherever you're staying. You're going to find one just down the street. You're going to find one like 3 doors down. They're all over. They're serving all the people. But what's really kind of characteristic, it seems, in addition to all the convenience things that you can buy, they have like a 24/7 man, with man in the grill,
Mm.
So you get all this hot food that you can order, from sandwiches to burritos to whatnot. I mean, like, you got someone there ready to go to fix you up, something hot. So I think,
I thought a requirement for bodegas was a cat.
who is?
Bodegas. It's a bodega cat. It's not a real bodega unless they have a cat.
Oh, well, maybe
That's
my
what I was
cat was
told.
sleeping. I don't know. We'll have to check it out. But
Disappointing.
this bodega, maybe the cat was hiding or something. I don't know. But the thing to get, really, the quintessential, once again, is to get a bacon, egg, and cheese, a BEC, and this is a really simple, item. It's bacon, egg, and cheese on a Kaiser roll. Nothing too complicated. And it's super cheap. It's like $5, so this is what you get. This is what people, this is what people live on,
I would, yeah.
They take this on their commute to work or on their way home or something.
Good breakfast on the go.
It is. I mean, this is just like another thing, I feel like. I mean, California, we have our breakfast burritos, right?
Yeah.
And things of that nature. But, this is just another portable, means of like eating. And again, it's like at the price point too. And the fact that you can get this like at pretty much any time, of the day is just, is really nothing short of amazing. So next time you're staying at at a borough, Brooklyn or whatever, outside of Manhattan, right? You'll want to visit your local bodega. It doesn't really matter, which one you go to. I don't want to say they're all the same, but you'll really find the same kind of experience, at each one you go to. So, now after that, a couple more places, wanted to revisit what bagels are all about in New York. So the next spot I visited was Tompkins Square Bagels. They have various locations, but this one's out in the Lower East Side. This was kind of making my route on my way back to the airport. But yeah, Tompkins Square. This is Avenue A. I want to say this is the original location, but near Tompkins Square. But this is just another one of those places that is very well regarded by locals and tourists alike. This is a place that people really like to go to. And so in this case, tried a couple of things. The first, again, is everything bagel with cream cheese, but with this time with a little bit of scallion in there. So I don't know what your thoughts are, scallion and cream cheese, but I think it's a great pairing.
There's no bad pairing with cream cheese.
Thank you. So yes, so we start off with that. And again, you see a little bit more offered on the cream cheese there, a little more dollars, a little more heft there. And then, but I also wanted to try something similar to what I had just eaten, a bacon, egg, and cheese. Okay. So we have that also on an everything bagel. But just a little more substantial. But yeah, it's having it on a bagel versus like a roll. Yeah, I think I enjoy both very much. So okay. Tompkins Square, it's a great, what's crazy is that, in addition to just the sheer number of like different bagels, there's just like so many different types of cream cheese, so many schmears that you can choose from, so many flavors. It's not just plain cream cheese like with the scallion or whatever. It's like you've got, I don't know, like a blueberry cream cheese.
Strawberry,
I mean, it's really amazing.
It's a dream.
Yeah, it really is. I think we really need to conquer like one of these days to go on go to a bagel shop or something and just
try them all.
Yeah. Really get one of each in this case. So yeah, but Tompkins Square is a. I mean, there's so many. I think there was one I tried to go to, some other spot, but then I had failed to realize that they had closed for some event or something that day. I don't know.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, but that's okay. Tompkins Square. So Now, one final, I guess, visit would be out in Chinatown. So, do you know there's like I think there's like 9 Chinatowns or something in New York.
Oh, is it
I
really?
don't know if that was true. Not necessarily concentrated in New York City. I think like
Yeah.
throughout. But
Okay.
the Chinatown in Lower Manhattan, I think, is the one that
Mhm.
most people go to.
Yeah.
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 So, did you visit Chinatown out there?
Yeah. We went
Oh,
to where you went for
oh,
this last
really?
spot. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So we're
Yeah.
talking about Mei Lai Hua. And
Yeah.
Mei Lai Hua is, this is like quick dim sum. This is,
Yeah.
but super fresh and just really delicious all around. So just a
Yeah.
couple of things to try.
And you ordered
One,
inside?
what's that?
Did you order inside or outside?
Inside, inside.
Ah, yes. Nice. Cash
So
price.
yeah, exactly. That's the move. So I don't think there was anyone. I don't know what you mean by outside because I don't know if there was like anyone necessarily outside, but there's a kiosk. Maybe that's
Yeah,
what you're talking
exactly.
about. Yeah. So the kiosk was inside in this case, maybe because it was
Oh,
raining or
because it was
something.
raining. I
Yeah.
see. I see.
So, but I could still see like I ordered, inside with a person, but yes, I could see
Mhm.
people also ordering at the kiosk. But as you said, there's an advantageous cash
Yeah,
pricing.
discounts.
Yeah. And the chance for people to yell at you. So that's fine too.
I mean, that's what you're there for, right? It's New York. You want
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
No soup for you.
So one of the first things to try
Oh,
was this pineapple pork bun. Again, this is
that's
like
so good.
the quintessential. I mean, it's a nice sweet pineapple bun, not too sweet, but good, and with a nice savory pork filling in there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very good.
How many do you have in there?
We only had one each, and I
Oh,
regret it.
yeah. If you could have more, I mean, totally, totally. I mean, if I had
Yeah.
space for more, I totally would have. I wonder if like I wonder if this is something I could have carried with me. I probably could have like
Oh, carry
gotten
on.
away
Yeah,
with
probably.
taken with me. In addition to the pork bun, I also tried the shrimp rice roll.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
super fresh shrimp, like really nice, like a nice kind of snap to the shrimp, and then with the just kind of enveloped in the rice roll, a little bit of
Mhm.
soy sauce on there. That and it was nice. It was it was nice and warm in this cold rainy day. So I thought it was thought that really um, was a good comfort in that. So yeah, even in the rain, still made for a good meal and a good experience overall. So
Okay. Did you go to a boba place in Chinatown?
no, I didn't. Yeah.
Oh, sad.
So how about you?
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
went to
I
Ali
think you
Mama.
told me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that place called again?
Ali Mama.
Yeah. I know I didn't
Yeah.
do
I
that.
still get emails from there. Like, there's
Like
one time, man. I'm sorry.
it's like please come back.
Yeah,
So
honestly.
I think it's just a sign, that it's time to plan the next one, right?
Yeah.
So so that kind of wraps up and rounds out, the few days out in New York. There is a lot to do with just, only so much time. If originally I had planned to go to a steakhouse, one of the
Oh,
old school spots, unfortunately not Peter Luger. That's probably the most well known. Only because I think reservations and things would have been tough. Also, incidentally, they also don't get cash. So, not that that would have been a problem, but it
yeah.
would just added some complexity, right? But anyway, but wherever I did end up, I had to cancel because there was just too much going on already. So,
Oh, damn. You had to cancel that one. What did you do? What do you mean?
I know.
Oh, wait. Did you not make a reservation? Or you made one and canceled?
I did make one and then I canceled it. Yeah.
What took precedence over that? What was important?
My livelihood.
Oh.
I don't know. Like it was
Uh,
at that point I was walking through Central
okay.
Park or something, and
Mhm.
I was just still very full, and
Okay, I see.
I knew already I would not enjoy the meal. So
Seems to be a common error with you.
yeah, it is. It is. Again, I think maybe I have to encourage more adventures with companions or something. I don't know. But next time a steakhouse will probably be in order. And then by the time I was there, we'll say friend of the pod, although not really sure. But George Motes has opened up
Oh,
his restaurant, Hamburger America.
oh,
But it was still being built out when I was there, so wasn't ready. But they've opened since, and it's just a way to enjoy the traditional, historically accurate, I suppose, hamburger of America. His fried onion burgers are something to be tried and something to be talked about. So I'm glad he's doing his thing over there. And the restaurant itself has got a lot of good cues from like a lot of these historically accurate places that he's visited and tried to incorporate into, whether it's in the design or the signage or things like that. That is something I'm tempted. I would just fly out there for like a day just to hit up that and a couple of spots. If the price is right, I don't know. Maybe it will motivate. Maybe it's enough to force me to fly Spirit or something. I don't know.
Hey, it's fine. They're getting better, right?
Okay. But as far as other foods, definitely need to. I would love to try more pizza and bagels. I would love to spend a day in Chinatown. At least more time there. So just a lot more food to explore. I mean, I feel like the vibe of food in New York there's kind of more upscale vibe, more stately, I think. Again, like these steakhouses, right? These more high end, kind of, environments and ambience. But, there's a lot that we offer here, but maybe not quite to the level. I mean, we definitely excel are the traditional and diverse, cultural foods, here in LA. And so I'm glad we bring a lot of that. But I mean, really, definitely have to plan another trip there. But really, one more thing I wish I could have done was get shoved or pushed just ever so slightly, so that I could just turn to someone and say, "I'm walking here. I'm walking." Okay.
Yeah, you can do that here.
I could, and then also look just as bad. Whatever, it's fine. But anyway, we've come to the end of another episode. So thank you really to our few and only fans for joining us. We're excited to bring you more of our adventures with good food and good people. Reach out. We're here on Instagram. I'm at Dumb and Hungry. He's at my_chow. Just slide right in there, won't you? You can also email us at hi@dumbandhungry.com, where you can leave us your feedback and your love letters. Find the videos on YouTube. Won't you like, subscribe, and smash? You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else fine podcasts are served. But until next time, I'm Angelo, the Dumb and Hungry.
And I'm my Chow.
And on your next food adventure, remember to try one of each.